Narcissistic injuries are common. I mean, I had a colleague when I was a teacher before I was a doctor. She told me that the last time she had gone to Panama City, she had inadvertently stepped on someone's foot. The guy turned and looked at her and go, "Que tú me pisaste?" He wanted to hurt her for stepping on his foot. That story made such an impact on me. I was like, whoa, dude. These narcissistic injuries can be defined variably, but it could be a footstep, or it could be someone denigrating your character, or someone devaluing you, or it could be being passed over for a job or a promotion. These are all narcissistic injuries, and this speaks to the necessary role of healthy narcissism. Because if you don't have some resilience in your self-concept that can rebound from an insult, then you're going pillar to post from narcissistic injury to narcissistic injury.
So in that instance, what might have been going through that guy's head is, she stepped on my foot, she doesn't know I'm here, she thinks I'm less than, all of those things. And if you choose to take a moment to break down that thought process, which isn't easy.
Which is super hard.
Then you would say, wait a second, it's crowded, we're in an airport, she's probably in a hurry, I'm in a hurry. You do all these other things, but many of us, the knee-jerk response might be that, and that might be the hardwired reptilian brain that
Danger, danger, someone's attacking you.
Yeah.
Right, well, threat perception winds up being very important, I think, in the minds of many of my patients. A lot of the time, they're so preoccupied or concerned that something like stepping on a foot reads to them as an insult. But really, stepping on a foot is it's the cost of doing business in Panama City. Again, we get to the delusional denial of reality where there's such an overinflated sense of self-importance that my foot ought not be stepped upon when there's how many millions of feet, right? It then becomes a problem for that individual who then, for example, takes action against, right? And hits and acts out, and the rage consumes. And then now they're in the legal system really because of a delusion that your foot is somehow sacred. And the mentalizing contextualization that you're talking about, where you say, well, it's a city and a lot of feet and it's busy, can't happen in the mind of someone who is just so preoccupied with the self and so liable to misattribute aggression. The stepping on the foot was not a threat.
I mean, I wonder, I have to do a lot of workarounds to not be that man who did that to your colleague. And I know when I feel it and I catch it, it could just be like how I'm wired. It's probably a combination of wiring and whatever, nature and nurture. But in terms of recovery, to the extent that one can recover, a lot of my immediate internal reactions haven't changed that much. They've changed a little, really slowly, and it's a lot of cognition working on the feeling. And the cognition has to get there really fast. Something happened this morning, and my gut reaction, I almost didn't catch it. I mean, I didn't quite catch it. And then I felt horrible, because I overreacted.
Of course, yeah, no, but that's all of us, right? Every person on the earth has a traumatic experience growing up of one shade or another. I mean, whether or not we can acknowledge it, I think, determines the ability to remediate the rage